What's going on, guys? It's Dustin with Family Tree Investing, back from a little break of making videos. After taking that break, I've got kind of a new focus for this channel, and that is my journey to owning and operating a mobile home park. So, let me explain. So, as you guys know from some prior videos, I've got a handful of duplexes where I live in Green Bay, and to be honest, they are getting old. I've only owned them for 3 or 4 years now, that the handful of them, and answering phone calls about fixing toilets, leaking windows that won't latch, furnaces that are acting up in the dead of winter. So I started on the hunt for what this would look like. I initially went to larger multifamily, so I'm talking apartment complexes, that type of deal, where I could maybe pass off some of this stuff. The asset would be big enough that I can pass off a lot of the property management. But again, I don't think that really was the answer to my concern. So then I looked into self-storage. Everybody loves self-storage. It's got element of passivity and obviously less day-to-day with tenants, things like that. But that's red hot if you're not aware. Very inflated in my opinion. But anyway, so mobile home parks is what I found to be kind of offer the best in terms of owning an asset that provides stable income, cash flow, all the while not being something that I have to day-to-day worry about getting phone calls and the like about leaky toilets, things like that. So again, in a perfect mobile home park, the idea is that the tenants own their own homes. So whereas as an investor in single family and duplexes, you own that asset. And you own the toilets, you own the windows, you own the roof, the furnace. And when those things go bad, you as the owner are responsible for that. So in a perfect mobile home park investment, all the tenants own their own mobile homes, and therefore they are responsible for those fixes, those issues when they come up. As the park owner, you are purely there being responsible for the kind of the infrastructure. So the water coming to the mobile homes, the sewer coming away from them, perhaps the roads in a lot of cases, and maybe a lot of the common areas, keeping those kept. But in general, you eliminate some of those traditional concerns that you usually experience as a rental property investor. Okay, so another good piece here that I really liked about mobile home park investing versus what I'm currently doing is that one of the largest issues that you run into on a yearly basis is, all right, leases are up. People get in the mindset of maybe finding a better place, and what does that mean to you as a rental property owner? Vacancy. And with vacancy comes turnover, and with turnover comes cost. About getting the unit back to a rentable condition. Maybe that means changing out the carpets, repainting, all of these things. But with a mobile home park, you have, again, going back to that first point, you have tenants that own their own mobile homes in a lot of cases. And the beauty of that is that they are not the easiest thing to move. You can't just, like an apartment, you can't just pick up, put your stuff in a U-Haul and on your way to the next apartment, wherever you want to move. Someone who owns a mobile home, it's not a cheap thing to get that thing transported from where it sits now to another park. So there's usually got to be a really good reason for them to want to do that. And because of this, as the park owner, you in a lot of cases don't have to experience that type of vacancy and that type of turnover, which is really appealing to me. Okay, Time out. I just need to address one of the elephants in the room. And that is what you guys might be thinking with, when you think of a mobile home park or a trailer park as it's, been referred to for years. You're probably thinking, you must be crazy, Dustin. You are about to get yourself involved with a bunch of, suspicious tenants and folks who live in these parks are often, it's filled with crime. And that could not, in my experience so far, that could not be further from the truth. So by way of example, let's just use the movie 8 Mile. Everyone knows the 8 Mile, great movie with Eminem. Eminem, growing up, lives on the wrong side of 8 Mile in Detroit in a trailer park, and they make this place out to be the worst, the worst looking place ever with people, and are there because they've got themselves into a bad way with crime and drugs and all this stuff. Let's just look actually what the actual 8 Mile trailer park looks like. Let me show you guys. Okay, so not that bad, right? Actually pretty nice. There still could be crime in the area, just like there is in any sort of area where you've got a dense population in a city, things like this. A typical mobile home park is not a concentration of criminals or anything like that. It's usually people who like to own their own mobile homes. Instead of paying rent to occupy an apartment space, they get a mobile home, they get a little plot of land to put that on, they get to upkeep and make their own. So it is not a place where that is just purely full of crime. So I needed to have you guys understand that. Otherwise, you might be tuning out because you're like, this is not for me. So okay, so another reason I want to own a mobile home park is that ideally they're going to be easier to manage from a distance. Right now I live in the same city that I invest in, and that to me gives me some peace of mind for if there's an issue, I can get in the car and I can be there. But to be honest, I don't know if I particularly like that, right? Because that means I'm going to feel inclined always to go and meet someone versus try to address an issue or what have you remotely. So with a mobile home park, the idea is that you're typically going to set that up in such a way that there is an on-site manager. Someone in the park is going to be your eyes and your ears and your person you're going to lean on to look after the park on a day-to-day basis. They're also going to be the point of contact for each of those tenants in the park to say, if they have a dispute, if they want to report an issue, again, with the overall park, that's going to be their point of contact, not you. They're not going to have necessarily your phone number. But all this is to say is that typically with a mobile home park investment, you don't need to be on site. Of course, you're going to go and manage any large projects or anything like that you got going on. You're going to want to be on site for that and visit it from time to time, maybe a few times a year. But typically you don't need to be living in the city or even the state where your mobile home park investment is. And that is pretty attractive to me. Okay, and I cannot forget to mention one of the other main reasons I'm looking to invest in mobile home parks is that the cash flow, which drives me to do everything that I'm doing right now with real estate, I'm trying to build up a passive flow of income. Mobile home parks, have this in spades. So this is, it's not unheard of to, especially if you can find a good deal, maybe an off-market deal, to have returns upwards of 15 or 20% cash on cash of the money. So the money you put down versus the net income that you're returned every year could be upwards of that 20%, and that's pretty damn good. Okay, so this was just meant to be the introductory video on why I'm looking to invest in mobile home parks. Those are just a few of the reasons why I'm really interested in this asset. In future videos, guys, I'm going to be taking you through some of those things in detail. I'm also going to be talking about and sharing with you where I'm looking for deals, how I'm finding them, bringing in on some calls when I'm cold calling some of these park owners to see if they'll sell me their parks. I'm just gonna be completely transparent with you and show you exactly kind of the steps I'm taking to buy my first mobile home park. So if any of those things are of interest to you and mobile home parks are of interest to you, then please join me, subscribe to this, like this video, and look forward to making future videos on this journey. So with that, we'll talk to you soon. It's Dustin with Family Tree Investing. We'll see you next time.